There she goes. Good morning, scholars.
Morning.
I hope everybody had a very good and relaxing holiday. I know I did. It was an opportunity to see family and friends. But at any rate, I hope you got your homework done and are ready to go this week. So let me get started with what we're going to do. I will be typing your agenda in the chat. So I think I'm going to go over the homework first. Well, actually, I'm going to do that last after I talk about that, because I think I have to set some times on that, but I'll do. And then the subject today is chapter 9, and we're going to talk about adjectives and adverbs, unit 5. You're going to have an independent practice where you're going to do your answers by yourself, and you're going to have a shared pair activity. Okay, on adjectives and adverbs. Okay, so I know that's the topic today. So let me go, let me go on and get the homework. You can just look at that. I'm going to have to set the times for you because I did that for my other class. I'm not sure I did it for this one. So I'm going to go and get ready to share my screen first. So we can go over what we're going to be doing this week. Okay, can everybody see my home page? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I need a response. Okay. So as usual, when we're going through our assignments, you should always make sure you go to the syllabus, which is what I normally do first, to make sure that I'm on point. And this is week 8. This is week 8. So we're going to be doing chapter 9, which is about revising, editing, and doing your best work. And then you're going to be reading unit 5, which is working with adjectives and adverbs. It starts on page 427. You're going to have 4 assignments, but I think I'm going to change that because I'm going to show this video, I think, in class. I looked at it, I forgot about it. I think I'm going to show this one in class. And so there you're going to have 3. I haven't decided yet. If I show this one in class because I liked it as an activity I want you to review, then you'll have 3 to do. 3 videos for 30 points for your assignment. Okay, from there we always go to quizzes and exams. And I don't think I set it all up. I put it all on here, but I don't know if I set it all up. Because you see, I have it set for, you're going to be doing, this is homework. Unit 5, that means I went through the quick checks myself, and I typed some of them and some of the practices. So this is homework right here. This is the first one. This one is classwork. You're going to do 2 classwork assignments. It will be this one. I may change the time on that, I don't know. But here's the classwork today. This also classwork today. I want to change this time. Let me do that right now because I want to go over the activities first. So I got to change the time on that. I'm not going to make it available right this second because I have to change the time. So I'm just going to say 12:12 and go back when I'm ready to do it. It's not going to be 60 minutes either. Okay, so you got 2 independent practices. I'll tell you when we're going to do that on adjectives and adverbs. This and this will be your classwork today. And this right here, I think is the shared pair, but I thought I put shared pair on there. I don't know, I'll change this to C. But anyway, if you notice, everything is on adjectives and adverbs today. We're going to go back, and then you're going to go to your English Connect assignments. And your English Connect assignments today will be verbs for you guys. So it will be this one, and I'm going to go on and set the date for that now. So it's going to display, this will be part of your homework. It's going to display today, and starting at 1 o'clock. And it will display until the 10th, which is Saturday, till 6 o'clock, till 6. So that's the homework right here. Okay, for verbs. So this one is verbs. That's the next thing that you have is right here for you. Then you're going to go all the way down and you are going to do your reading and writing, but it's always a reading. So we're going to go to reading. And the story that you're going to do is matching education to jobs. So you're going to read this assignment and you're going to complete the comprehension check to matching education to jobs. If you don't remember it, you need to write it down because I'm changing the date for it now. It's due by Saturday. This is the comprehension part, 5 questions only. Sometimes they won't let me change the date, but again, this is homework that is due July the 10th, which is 5 o'clock standard time till 5, which is 1 Central Standard Time, which is 5 o'clock then. It's supposed to be 6 o'clock our time. At any rate, it's always due Saturday, even if it does not change. It's due Saturday, on or before Saturday. Please don't wait till the last minute and try to get all of this done. So then we have chapter 9, revising, editing, and doing your best work. And the only thing I'm assigning is the comprehension check, the comprehension test for chapter 9. And I see that there are 10 questions, or however many questions, multiple choice. Try to give you the easiest ones. Again, it's due Saturday. Till 5. So that's chapter 9, comprehension check only. Back to, because I noticed for this, for some reason, this one does not have a unit 5. You see it goes from Unit 4 to Unit 6. And this is done by the publisher. So I don't know if they didn't want to have one for that or not. So the Unit 5 is the chapter itself that I went through, but there's no additional assignments there. So that's your homework. Okay. So now I want you to take out your notebook and your writing utensil, and we're going to take our notes on adjectives and adverbs. So let me go here. Let me add that to, so I can show it to you. Okay, I gotta go to my documents. Okay. You can always enlarge it on your end by going to the left-hand side and clicking the magnifying glass with the plus inside. I suggest you either write legibly or you can take a picture. You will need these notes to complete the class exercises independently. So you can write or take a picture, but I won't have time to be squinting at my phone. So I would write, I guess you can enlarge it. So I'm telling you now, you will need this information to successfully complete your in-class independent assignments, of which there are 2 of them, each of them worth 100 points. So you take your notes however you feel is the most convenient for you. So this one is about understanding adjectives and adverbs. First of all, we covered this in the parts of speech. We probably went over a cursory definition of it, but this time I'm going to go a little bit more in depth. So the first thing you need to know that adjectives and adverbs are descriptive words. They are descriptive words, and their purpose is to make the meaning of the words they describe more specific. Like Dr. Wilson is driving a red SUV. So I'm describing it, describe the color of the SUV as red, okay, more specific. As you know, adjectives describe nouns or pronouns. The key is that it tells which one, what kind, and how many. So Karen is a kind woman. What kind of woman is she? Kind. He is tired, okay? So he, tired, is describing he. Generally speaking, an adjective comes before the word it describes, but it can also come after forms of the be verb, which is, am, are, was, were, etc. The be verb is, are, was, were, the rest of them. And then less often, adjectives also follow verbs such as feel, look, smell, sound, taste, appear, become, and seem. These are called our sensory words. They deal with the 5 senses. Okay. Some examples of those is that the bureau is heavy. These pants are itchy. Itchy describes the pants. Heavy describes the bureau. The children seem restless. Okay. Then you have to remember that we can use adjectives to make comparisons. Okay? So if we have a short adjective or one syllable or so, we can just add ER to it. Please make a note, we add ER when we are comparing two items. And we add EST when we are comparing three or more items. And here are some examples to make that crystal clear to you. I am taller than my brother. So we are comparing you and your brother, which is the two items. So we add ER to the short adjective tall. And then we said comma, but, which is your conjunction. My father is the tallest person in the house. So in that case, there are three things we are comparing: myself, my brother, and my father. So when it's three items or more, you add EST to the short adjective. Another example is the farmer's market sells fresher vegetables than the corner store. So we are comparing the farmer's market to the corner store. But you see the comma, but the freshest vegetables are the ones grown in our own garden. So in that case, it's the farmer's market compared to the corner store compared to your own garden. Three items or more. And it says for longer adjectives, that means they have two or more syllables. And when we talk about syllables, that's the word part of each word. If it's two or more syllables, then we're going to add the word more when we are comparing two things. And most when we are comparing three or more things. So if it's two items we are comparing and it's two or more syllables, we're going to add the word more, M-O-R-E. When it is three or more items and the adjective is two or more syllables, we're going to add the word most. So here are your examples. Backgammon is more enjoyable to me than checkers. So we are comparing backgammon to checkers, those two items. But chess is the most enjoyable game of all. So in that situation, it is three items: backgammon and checkers to chess. So you would use most enjoyable game of all. Second example, my mother is more talkative than my father, but my grandmother is the most talkative person in the house. So there's your three items. Here are some points to remember when we're talking about adjectives. You can't use both ER and more or both EST and most in the same sentence, okay? And then secondly, you want to pay attention to some irregular forms. Just like we have irregular verbs that are not the same all the way through, you have to be mindful of that as well here. For example, the adjective may be bad. However, when you're comparing two items, you're going to use the word worse. And if you are comparing three items, you're going to use the word worst with a T. Likewise, if you use the adjective good or well, if you're going to compare two things, then you're going to use better. If you are comparing three items, you're going to use the word best. if you are using the adjective little by itself for one thing, if you're going to compare two items, then you will use less. And if you're going to be comparing three items, you will use the word least. Same thing for the adjective much or many. If you're comparing two items, it becomes more. And if you're comparing three items, it becomes most. Now I want to talk about adverbs. And we already know the definition of adverbs because we covered that a little briefly when you did parts of speech. So adverbs describe verbs rather, not vowels, my goodness. Verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Generally speaking, adverbs end in ly. Not all of them, but generally speaking. So the purpose of adverbs is to tell how, to what extent, why, when, or where. Here's a couple of examples. Karen spoke kindly to the confused man. Okay. In this case, is how does she speak to the confused man? Kindly. The man said he was completely alone in the world. Okay. To what extent? Oh, why? And then it says, many adjectives can be changed into adverbs by adding the ly ending. And so, for example, you can change glad as an adjective to gladly as an adverb. Thoughtful as an adjective to thoughtfully as an adverb. Wise as an adjective to wisely as an adverb. Okay. And then there are two that are often confused, good and well. And you're going to be tested on that today, or you're going to have an assignment on that today. Of course, good is an adjective because it describes a noun. And well is an adverb because it usually describes verbs. However, well is used as an adjective when it refers to a person's health. You have to remember that rule. So if I said, John, how are you? What would you say, John?
I would usually say good. How about yourself?
Okay. You said good, and that's what a lot of people say, but grammatically speaking, that is incorrect. You have to say, I am well, because that refers to your health. Most people, and I can always tell if you're really versed in English grammar, because I'll say, hey, how you doing? And they'll say, I'm fine or I'm good. If they say I'm well, then you know that they have a pretty good command of the English language because that is the correct word to use. Well. Well is the adjective you use when you're referring to anyone's health. So if they say how you are doing, I am well. I know one of my colleagues, we used to teach the same thing, both English 114 and 115. And I think a couple of times we worked next door to each other at the Northwest campus. And she would often come over and say, hey, come over. She would send a student and say, hey, have Dr. Wilson come to my class for a second. So I would come over to her class and she would say, well, how are you, Dr. Wilson? And I would always say, of course, I am well. And then she would say, see, you're supposed to say well. You see how she answered? So she would always play that little trick on her students to let them know that, hey, it's not good or fine. The answer is well, because that's the adjective used when we're referring to health. So now you know something. So when you're asking people how they are or how they're doing, listen to see if they say well, then you can say or if they say fine or good. So here are your examples. I became a good swimmer. So we use good because that is describing the noun swimmer. And then Marianne did well on the exam. The answer is well because that is describing the verb did. And then finally it says, I explained that I wasn't feeling well. And the answer is well because well is used as an adjective to describe someone's health. In this case, I wasn't feeling well. So those are the things that is going to be discussed in more detail in your chapter on Unit 5, but it's basically a review of what you already know. So does everyone have these notes down?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear
Okay.
me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we can hear
can.
you.
Okay. You can take it off the screen, but I did like screenshot it so I could write it down if that was okay. I was finishing up doing that.
You can do that, honey.
Okay, I just didn't know. Yeah, you can go ahead and
Yeah.
take it away though.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Screenshot as well. Very good, very good. Excellent. So with that in mind, I'm going to go and I'm going to do the shared pair. Now I want you to look over your notes, and I'm going to go to, let me look first before I do that. While you're doing that, I'm going to do the shared pair activity. First, I'm going to let that do, and I'm going to put how many, let me see, there are 4 if you show up, because it's usually 4. Let me look and see. Like I say, this is kind of easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let me look and see what I did here. If this is the one I use for, I wonder why this is showing up like this. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is classwork. I gotta change this thing. That's 20. Gotta look at this. Gotta see. Oh. Okay. I'm trying to decide which one I made the shared pair. I have to look at that and see which one. Make sure I got the right one for you. I'm gonna have to change some times on this. Independent practice. That's 20. I don't know if that's it. Okay. I got to go back to another one because I don't know if that's the one I wanted you to do. I know I didn't have 3 independent assignments. I always like you to work together first and get a feel before, although if you use my notes that I just gave you, you still should be able to do extremely well on it because this is an easy concept. And let me double check and see if that was the shared pair that I gave my other class or not. Oh, I didn't. Okay, I knew something. Okay, I'm getting ready to transfer the, because I said that didn't look right to me. So I'm going to transport it over now. And then I'm going to make that the shared pair. And then you will have your independent practice. I knew I wasn't. Let's see. Shared pair. I want the shared pair. Shared pair. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I'm coming back to your class. Okay. Shared pair, very good. Okay. Okay. Quizzes and exams. Shared pair. Here we go. Okay, let me see what that is for you. I'll say I'm going to have this ready to start in, it's 11:36 at 11:40. Make available to students. It's only going to be 20 minutes because I think it's only 15. So I'm going to give you 20 minutes to do this. It's going to start at 11:40 a.m. And it's going to end at 12 noon. Okay, if you guys will turn to, let me see if it's showing up now. I gotta make sure it's right. And I don't understand. Let me look at this one where I'm at it too. Why is that showing up? Okay. 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 So everybody turn to quizzes and exams, please. And I guess I only see 3 students, so I'm going to put you all in one group. So I'm going to do that now, and you all can work together on this one. It will just be one group. I'm going to move you, whoever the person is out, I'm going to move you to that. Okay, all 3 of you are in one group. It should be showing you have 20 minutes until 12 o'clock. Divide the work. I won't be listening. And make sure you get an A on that assignment. Everybody clear? Yes, no?
Yep.
Okay, you should get an A. It's an easy assignment, so I'm going to move on out.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so we're just putting ADJ if it's an adjective or ADV if it's an adverb.
Hold on, my thing was working. Okay. The first one is an adjective, right?
Yeah, because
Mm.
describes a noun or pronoun.
Right. Plentiful. That's an adverb, ain't it? Is that an adverb, John?
Adverbs in English is a part of speech. An adverb describes a verb, another verb, adjective. How, where, when, how much. I got like a list open. A lot of them have like ly.
Right.
I think it's adjective still.
Adjective?
Do you think so? Or do you think it's an adverb?
No.
is describing a noun. For an adjective, it describes a noun or pronoun. Can you describe a noun or pronoun with plentiful?
I assume.
Then yeah, we only got 20 minutes, 17 minutes left. So I also think soft is also an adjective.
Yeah. So y'all, for plentiful, y'all put it as an adjective
For yeah.
or an adverb? Okay.
First grade, I think I put as an adjective.
Adjective. Okay.
Yeah. Monthly, I think, is an
For
adverb.
yeah. Dirty is a adjective.
Adjective. Yeah. Colorful. I think it's an adjective. Eerily.
Adverb.
Yeah. Sweet. I think that is an adjective. Because I'm looking at, I wrote down, like, has the senses, like, feels, look, smell, sound, taste, appear, become, and seen. Gladly. I think that's an adverb. Temporarily.
Temporary. That's an adverb, right?
Yeah. Rapidly.
I think that's an adverb.
Yeah. 8. I think that's an adjective. Intensity.
Yeah, because it said how many. Yep.
Yeah.
And that intensely is an adverb. Gloomy.
I think that's an adjective. Because they're feeling.
What, intensely?
Intensely is an adverb.
An adverb.
Yeah. But I think gloomy is an adjective.
Yeah.
Quickly. I think that's
Adverb.
yeah.
I had to ask. Oh, okay. Before you submit, did you capitalize all your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure I did that because I be feeling like when I don't or if I do, I be messing up.
Yeah,
So I had to
she
make
said
sure.
everything if it's stuff like this has to be capitalized. Otherwise it just doesn't
Okay.
count. It doesn't register.
Okay. Did you submit it yet?
I am now. 99 out of 99. Got 100.
This one was kind of easy. I'm glad we had them notes too.
Yeah.
It's easier when you had a notes when you just review it before you do it.
Yeah. So if it's got an ly, odds are it's probably an adverb. But if you think about it, like either which one, what kind, how many,
Yeah.
That's how I'm like. Those are the key terms I took down.
People hate you. People hate you for one of four reasons, or probably all four. Number one, they want to be.
Okay. I trust that you did well. I see Araya is still connecting. If you go to your quizzes and exam page, hi Araya, I see you got with us. You all have a 10-minute break. At 12:10, the first of 2 assignments will show up, and I'll go in and tell you what they are. You're doing independent practice on adjectives and adverbs, just like you did as a team. And I'm going to tell you what those 2 assignments are. The first one that is going to show up at 12:10, you will be doing individually. It's called classwork practice, independent adjectives and adverbs. You have 20 minutes to do it because there's 20 items. It's just similar to what you did. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. After that, at 12:30, your second independent practice will show up. That's for your own grade. It's called adjectives and adverbs B. And that will take you out till the end of this class. It's 37 items, so I gave you 40 minutes, which may take you till 1:10. And lastly, your third independent practice is homework. It will appear at 1 o'clock, but it is not due until Saturday on or before 6 o'clock p.m., along with the rest of your assignments. So you have 2 in-class independent assignments today for a total of 300 points for class today. That's going to show up at 12:10 and 12:30 this afternoon. And I will see all of your, well, I will see your names. I can't see your smiling faces, but I will see all of you scholars back. And today is Wednesday. I will see all of you back next Monday. Are there any questions? This is an easy skill. I expect you to do well. I expect you to finish Unit 5. Make sure you read the chapter over 2 times before you go and do the assignments. Do those assignments in your textbook or on notebook, however you want to do it, and transfer the answers to Blackboard. You have to have read it a couple of times and then worked on the quick checks, and I think it's 1 practice, and then go and transfer it to Blackboard. Any questions, scholars? You got a little bit of break, get up and stretch, and then you have to do your 2 independent assignments back to back. Okay? John, Araya, and Natia, everybody clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, have a good day. See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You too.